Hello there. My name's Mary, and I'm coming to you from the children's room of the Portland Public Library in Portland, Maine. And I'm here today with a story. And I'm going to tell the story, but it's based on a book. And the book is called Tops and Bottoms, and it was adapted and illustrated by Janet Stevens. But we're going to do it without the book. Once, there was a very lazy bear. He was very wealthy. He had a lot of money. He had a lot of land, but all he wanted to do was sleep. Well, his father had been a hard worker. He had farmed the land. He had bought acreage, and he had a lot of wealth, which he gave to his son. But all his son wanted to do was sleep. Well, Bear had a neighbor right down the road, Hare. Now, Hare was a hard worker, but he made a lot of bad decisions, and he lost money in some bad deals, and then he lost a wager to a tortoise. And in fact, he had to sell his land to Bear to get the money to pay off the wager. So Hare and his family, they were in a bad way. Well, one night, Mrs. Hare said, "Dear, what are we going to do? The children are getting so hungry, and we've got to do something. Everything is going so poorly." Hare said, "I know. Well, let's put our heads together and see if we can come up with a plan." And so Hare and Mrs. Hare, they thought well into the night, and they came up with a plan. And the next morning, Hare was standing right at the porch of Bear. And he called out, "Hey, Bear, it's your neighbor, Hare, and I'm coming here with a plan." Well, Bear opened one eye and looked up and said, "What?" "Yeah, got a plan here. All we need to do is plant the land and look at this field right in front of your porch. It's perfect. We'll plant it. And when I say we, I mean I'll plant it, and my family will work with me. And you don't have to lift a finger to do a bit of work. So, what do you say, Bear?" "Huh?" said Bear. "Oh, come on, Bear. It's easy for you. You can sleep, I'll work, and we'll get the crops. What do you say? And what's more, you can choose. Do you want the tops or do you want the bottoms? You choose, Bear, and you'll get it." "Well, so you were here. Well, all right. I'll take the tops." "It's a done deal, Bear. You get the tops." So, next day, there was Hare out in the field. He was planting, Mrs. Hare was watering, and all the hares were weeding. They did this day after day, and the crops grew, and Bear slept. But when the crops were ready to be harvested, Hare ran right up to the porch, and he said, "All right, Bear, it's time to harvest the crops. And right here are the tops, and here are the bottoms for me." And there, in Hare's pile, were carrots and radishes and beets. But Hare, you got all the good parts. I got all the tops. That's right, the tops. That's what you wanted. You got the tops, I got the bottoms. You tricked me. You tricked me, so I want you to plant this field again, and this time I get the bottoms, you get the tops. All right, Bear. It's a done deal. So the hares took the bottoms home, and the next day, there they were, planting. Hare did the planting, well, along with his family, and they watered, and they weeded, and the crops grew, and Bear slept. Well, soon those crops were ready to be harvested, and Hare ran right up to Bear's porch, and he said, "All right, Bear, it's time to harvest the crops. So, right here are your bottoms, and right here are my tops." And there was a pile of celery, broccoli, and lettuce. What? You got all the good stuff again, and I ended up with roots. Yeah, all right. You've cheated me twice, so now you owe me a whole crop. So, you plant the field, and I get the tops, and I get the bottoms. It's only fair. Oh, poor Bear. Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess you should get the tops and the bottoms. So, all right. It's a done deal, Bear. You're going to get the tops and the bottoms. So, Hare and his family picked up the tops and ran home. The next morning, out they came. They planted the field. They watered the field. They weeded the field. They watered it again. They weeded it again. And they kept doing it while the crops grew and Bear slept. Well, it was time to harvest the crop. So Hare ran up to the porch and he said, "All right, Bear, time to harvest the crop. You get the tops, you get the bottoms." And Hare went and got the corn, and he pulled up the stalks, and he gave the roots to Bear, and he gave the tassels to Bear, and Hare kept the middle. Well, soon, Hare and his family had pulled off all the roots and all the tassels and had a beautiful pile of corn. And Bear had a beautiful pile of roots and tassels. And he said, "No, you are not going to cheat me again. I will plant my own field. That's what I'll do." So the very next morning, Bear did. He went out and he planted the field. He watered the field. He harvested the field. Well, Hare and his family enjoyed some of the corn. Of course, they sold what they couldn't eat. And from that time on, Bear and Hare never went into a partnership again. They remained neighbors. They were cordial to each other, but never partners. And as for Hare, well, he had taken those extra crops and he'd sold them, and he made enough money to buy back his land from Bear. And so they all lived happily ever after. And that's the story of tops and bottoms. So be careful what you ask for. And again, I am Mary, and I'm coming to you from the children's room of the Portland Public Library in Portland, Maine. And until next time, bye-bye.